Hola, hola amigos. Welcome back to Buenos Aires. My name is Pablo. I'm one of the tour guides of the city, and you might remember me from another video we shot specially for Viking about the city and the outskirts. Today, we are going to visit together the neighborhood of San Telmo, and we want to show you one of the special things we have prepared for the time you come to visit Buenos Aires, for your next trip. What's waiting for you? What is San Telmo? San Telmo is one of the oldest neighborhoods of Buenos Aires. It's part of the historic core, and it has still that magic of the ancient times of the foundation of Buenos Aires back in 1536. Not far from here, old houses, many artists, still the bohemian feeling on the city. And throughout the streets and the restaurants and the markets, such as the one you see behind me, it's what you find mostly when you come over. We are going to visit together one of the hidden jewels we have in Buenos Aires, el Zanjón de Granados. Enrique,
Pablo,
how you doing?
fine, nice to see you again.
Thanks for having me back. It's always great
Welcome.
to come back to this amazing place we have in Buenos Aires.
Well, let's start a short guided tour. So,
Excelente, excelente. Been looking forward to. And it's the way we connect all the dots of San Telmo neighborhood.
yes, this is where the city was born. We are in the heart of the historical area in Buenos Aires. And well, El Zanjón is one of the most important archaeological sites in the city.
Fantastic. We've been talking about that. And where is the people going to find when they come here?
Well, they will connect with our history, our roots. People will learn about how the city grew, how it changed. So I think it's the best place in Buenos Aires to learn about our culture.
I have a quick question. How do you pronounce the name? Zanjón, right?
Yeah, Zanjón means ditch, a big ditch. This is where there was a little stream that used to flow from the height of the city into the river plate. And neighbors, people started to channel the stream to avoid flooding, pollution, and that started in late 1800s.
Excellent, because when you come for the first time and you look at the place, it looks like a house from outside.
Yeah, this was originally a big mansion because San Telmo is where wealthy people used to live. So imagine a big car with horses that came all the way up to there. This was the patio for the guests, for the family, and for the slaves.
So we are right now in the patio for the family.
Exactly.
Why is this patio so important in the house?
Well, this was a big mansion built around 1840, and this kind of houses had three patios. The first one was for the guests, the second one was for the family, and the last one is where the carriage and the horses were kept. And imagine this family had African slaves that were at the back. So this was the main patio of the house.
As I understand, this patio still has one unique construction in Buenos Aires. Can you show us?
Yes, there are only a few houses which still have a watchtower, which is up there. From that tower, the family who built this house could see the river and their ships coming or leaving.
I see that something great was accomplished here in terms of renovation and archaeological research. What can we see in the walls?
Well, most of the bricks you can see are the originals. But when the owner bought the house, the museum director bought this house, they found clay between each brick, mud. So with time and humidity, that clay got compressed and the original plaster fell off the walls. So during the restoration, and this is crazy, they took out 10 centimeters of clay by hand like this and injected cement brick by brick. So imagine it took many, many years to strengthen the whole structure.
Were there many houses like this in Buenos Aires?
Well, only a few, because imagine this was built in 1840, and when the city started to grow, when the immigrants started to come, many houses were turned down. But what happened in this building is that after the yellow fever epidemic, wealthy people left and many houses became tenements. Boarding houses for immigrants? Well, that happened to this house. And it was a tenement for about 1 century.
And I'm curious about the actual owner, the man who paid for all the renovation. What's his name?
Well, Jorge Eckstein, he was born in San Telmo, he grew up here, and he bought this house because he wanted to set a restaurant. I mean, that was his first idea. So imagine this was going to be a short-term project. But during the cleaning process, they found a tunnel buried at the back of this house, I mean, by chance. So when that happened, everything changed because he started a big restoration process, which took him about 20 years. 20 years to restore the whole building with any commercial activities.
What did the archaeologists find in this patio?
Well, they found a big cistern that collected water from the rooftops. Imagine only wealthy people could afford this, because most of the people in the city had to drink water directly from the river or from wells. So we're talking about a wealthy family who built this house and lived here for many years till the yellow fever epidemic hit this area, and that's when they ran away.
In terms of today, they had like the upgrade system, right?
Exactly, yeah. The sanitation process in Buenos Aires started in 1890, so that's when they installed running water in San Telmo.
So this is one of the most important places of the house, right?
Yeah, well, this is where everything started. When Jorge bought this house, remember in 1985, he wanted to set a restaurant, but during the cleaning process, this is where the floor was sunken. So when they opened to see what was happening, they found this tunnel by chance. So because of this, we can say he started this kind of adventure, which took him more than 20 years to restore the whole building.
So walk me through. We have a cistern right here, and there's a little channel down there, right?
Yeah, exactly, because cisterns collected water from the rain, from the rooftops. So that's the tin pipe that used to collect water. And you know, because of some travelers, we know they had a very special filter to keep the water clean.
Let me guess. They had clay to filter the water.
Well, not exactly. They had animals, water turtles that live there all the time to eat the algae, the insects. That's how they purified water.
So let me be clear. This was the premium system, right?
Yeah, because imagine most of the people drank groundwater from wells or from the river.
And we were 2 blocks away from the river.
Exactly.
But the rich families had this as the main thing for the water.
Exactly, they had their own system.
So they found this place. And what happened after?
Well, after this, Jorge decided to start a big excavation process with archaeologists, and that's when they also found many other archaeological elements, and that's when he decided to turn this into a big museum instead of a restaurant. So because of this, the whole project changed.
And it became the new archaeological site of Buenos Aires.
Yeah, it became one of the most important archaeological sites in the city.
I have the feeling that there's something important about the roof.
Well, yeah, the rafters are the originals, used to support the upper floor, because since the beginning, this was a 2-story house, and bedrooms were always upstairs. This is inside the house. Living room at the front, dining room in the middle, kitchen at the back.
And this was part of the same, they had to do a big conservation on the ceiling, right?
Yeah, exactly. Besides, this is a really hard wood. Imagine there's some insects that eat this type of wood. So yeah, now are protected with a special wax. And this is all the paintings you will see were made by Jorge's wife, Daphne Bundock. Well, she painted the house when they bought it in ruins. And here you can see how there were many plants coming from the walls, because remember, there was clay between each brick. So when the plaster fell off the walls, imagine a lot of plants started to grow.
She inspired on the watchtower.
Yeah, exactly.
So Enrique, what's next?
Well, now we will go to the archaeological subsoil, which is an area that didn't exist as a space. It was dug out during the restoration process.
And that's the second part of the visit, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's where you will see a collection of old prints, that illustrates life in Buenos Aires over the times.
We want to give some context to how the people lived in
Exactly.
the old Buenos Aires.
Exactly.
So this is it, right? This is the place.
Well, this is the archaeological subsoil. This area didn't exist as a space. It was excavated, dug out during the restoration process, and that's when they had to build this concrete structure to support the whole building. There was a huge engineering job to strengthen the building.
And the work they performed is just a spectacular combination of old and new. You can feel it here.
Yeah, they really found the conciliation between what is original and what is new. And that's not easy to find, right?
And what's on display?
Well, here we have a collection of old prints that illustrates life in Buenos Aires over the times, different places, different characters. And you will also find many glass cases with artifacts the archaeologists found in this site during the excavations.
So when you come here, first you learn where the people lived, and then you learn how they lived.
Exactly. You can see how people used to live in this house because of all the archaeological elements they found.
Did they eat a lot of beef?
Well, some of them, yeah, especially dry meat. Gauchos used to eat charqui, which is dry meat.
But we are close to the river, so I can imagine a lot of fish as well, right?
Well, we have a strange relationship with the river because the river used to be closer. So back in those days, yes, they used to eat a lot of fish. Imagine the name of this neighborhood, San Telmo, was the same patron of sailors. So San Telmo had to do with sailors. But today, we don't eat fish very much.
The level of conservation is just spectacular. How much does it take to keep up a place like this?
Well, the restoration took about 20 years, but we're still working. There's a section which is still in restoration, so you see this project will continue, forever.
What are these ceramics?
Well, here you can see English china, French ceramics. You can see a French shoe buckle from those shoes men used to wear during the colonial times, a little tap for a wine barrel, a bone toothbrush with all the bristles.
All in fantastic conservation state.
Yeah, here you can see how people used to live. You see a French perfume bottle.
Most of the things brought from Europe, right?
Yeah, most of them were brought from Europe, from England, Spain, France.
And we go back that the wealthy families loved living like in Europe.
Exactly, yeah. Imagine this area is where wealthy people used to live. We know many families exported leather to Spain. There were merchants, so we're talking about a wealthy area.
Where are we now?
Well, this is the tunnel itself. This is where the stream used to flow, the riverbed. So imagine long time ago, this was open to sky, and neighbors started to channel the stream to avoid flooding, to avoid pollution, and with time, they built on top.
And how far does the river go?
Well, this should continue 2 kilometers that way, and the northern branch 1 kilometer that way. So it was a big tunnel system under the whole neighborhood.
And what did the archaeologists find the first time they came here?
Well, imagine this was a paradise for the archaeologists because they found many artifacts. People used to throw everything into the stream. It was a focus for infection.
And I think they added something else, right, to the tunnel that I want to see right now.
Yeah, exactly. They opened this on purpose so you can see remains from 1700s. There was a tiny house built right next to the stream.
And I can see the cistern. We were there before.
Yeah, we saw it from upstairs, and as you can see, the cistern collected water from the rain, and people didn't drink water from the stream because what I told you before.
Right.
They used to throw everything.
What is this construction?
Well, this is an old well. but this is the part of the well you never see, the one that goes underneath. There's an open patio up here. So all this area was dug out, didn't exist as a space.
And I can hear there's a noise.
Yeah, that sound you're hearing is groundwater trying to find its natural way down towards the river. But when it finds the hole the well used to have, falls down. So imagine that when it's not raining for weeks or days, that sound is softer. And when it's raining, it's even louder. It changes all the time. And that's why we call that sound the voice of the stream.
The voice of the stream, that's magical.
Yeah, it's a magical spot for us because it's always changing.
And this is it, Enrique, this is the end of the tour. I want to thank you very much for having us here.
No, you're welcome. It was a pleasure and I hope to see you soon.
Gracias. And we're looking forward to have you here on this tailor-made tour specially designed for Viking guests. Come on your next trip and immerse into the magical Buenos Aires. Ciao, ciao.